No, and I don't think I tell the media a lot the day before the game how we start the game. So we had recovery yesterday. Actually, we're going to train this afternoon. So first of all, we have to see how they all feel. What I do know is that Alex did feel his body more maybe than ever before after the 60 minutes he played. So let's see how he recovered. How he's recovered today, and then we're going to think about the lineup mainly today, and you will hear it then tomorrow.
Has it changed to the routine as well because of the game on Wednesday? You're obviously training later today because you usually train a bit earlier than that. What's the thinking?
That has all to do with the early kickoff on Saturday. That we give them a little bit of extra time to recover, and one of the ways to recover really well is sleep, as we all know. We had to play this week 3 games, which is something we have to do a lot. But it's not many times that you have to do this in 7 days. So Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday is not a schedule you see a lot. It is what it is, and we play tomorrow, 12:30 kickoff.
Just when Alexander is fully match sharp, obviously Hugo Ekitike we know can play as a number 9 as well. What are you thinking is the best way to fit both of them into the side? Would you ever consider playing both of them together as a strike partnership, or you thinking Hugo would play more from the left if you're going to play both of them together?
Yeah, I consider, of course, because you consider many things, and it depends always on how well they are doing. So if both of them are in the best form of their life, you even consider more of playing them together. But it's also quite clear that we have a certain structure which has mainly been 4-3-3, playing with 3 midfielders. But the amount of time, the end phase of the game, we've played with 2 9s. That has happened quite a lot as well. Hugo can indeed also play from the left, different than Cody or Rio do this. So yeah, we have, and that's the good thing about our squad, we have multiple options. But first of all, they all have to still fit for me to have these options. And if some of them are not fit, we might have to use them both in a 4-4-2, or that all depends on the form of them and how many players we have available. Because I think all of them are fit now, and I think I can choose between 21 players. So that's quite normal, isn't it? It's not that it's far too much.
And the Merseyside derby, how do you see the City rivalry with Everton? How do you compare as well the current Everton with the Everton that you faced last season?
No, when we faced them last season, they had a very good spell as well, and it wasn't a spell because they just kept on going with that. And into this season again, also, I think they made some good signings. One of them is, of course, a player on loan that was worth 100 million in the past, not maybe still, but someone paid 100 million for him, and he's doing so well for them, Jack Grealish. So good team. Indeed, there is rivalry, but what I also liked, and I want to emphasize in this moment maybe on that as well, what they did when Diogo passed away, coming to Anfield, and be there. I think was the captain and a few of the, and of course they showed their respect on sports director to sports director and all these kind of things. So. In these moments of times, it's so nice to see that in those tragedies, the rivalry is still there, but the respect towards both is also there. Looking forward to the game tomorrow, because it's every Anfield game is special, but this derby is even more special.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I know obviously the rivalry and respect is always there between these two teams, but I just wonder how you felt being part of this fixture last season, and how it differed maybe to other atmospheres and other rivalries that you felt before in your career.
No, it differed, if that is the right English words to use. What I like so much here in England is that no matter how much rivalry there is between us and Everton, or between us and United, or if we're going to go to Newcastle with the whole Isaac story going on, the fans can just be together. So when we arrived at Newcastle, I saw 10 Liverpool shirts, and I saw many Newcastle shirts, by the way, but the 10 Liverpool shirts could just stand in between the Newcastle fans. That is impossible in Holland. So that is something really special what you have over here now, and I hope you can keep this for many years to come. So yes, there's rivalry. Yes, both fans are so passionate for their own teams, but they respect each other as well. And that, for me, is the main difference, because if Ajax plays against Feyenoord, away fans are not allowed anymore. So that tells you how terrible that situation is. So yes, and it makes it so much nicer if both fans are there. And that's what's going to happen tomorrow, and I hope that this is going to continue for as long as football is played here in England.
Obviously, with Branthwaite, Mikolenko, any chance this weekend?
Look, they're making progress, and we'll see. We've got a couple other knocks within the camp, but we'll see how they are. Whenever
Gerard Branthwaite is ready to come back, though, I'm guessing that Michael Keane has given you a bit of a decision to make at centre-half anyway, given the way that he started the season.
Well, that's the job, isn't it? We have a squad of players, and you hope that the players who give the opportunity, they can hang on to the jersey. I thought Michael's done great for us in the games he's played, so long may that continue.
When you look at the churn of players that you had through the summer, are you ahead of schedule in terms of getting everyone to gel?
Well, I think we've started well enough, but I always hoped that we'd got off to a good start and hope that we could, not be round the bottom end of the league. I'd hope we'd always be closer to the top end of the league. So it gives us something to hang on to, something to fight for, and try and be up round the top end. Look, we didn't get all the players we'd wanted in the window, but most managers would probably say that. But I have to say that we've got a fair amount, and we get quite a bit of work done in the summer. So hopefully we're moving in the right direction.
What confidence is that foundation that you've created this season now given to the lads to move forward from here now?
Well, I've told the players that we certainly want to go away from the position we've been in over the last few years. It's been difficult for the managers, it's been difficult for the club and the players, especially for over the last few years. We want to enjoy it, we want to try and play better, we want to try and win more often. We're trying desperately to challenge all the big teams, and we'll try and do that throughout the season.
So what's the build-up been like to a Merseyside derby? Has it changed over the years, given your involvement in it?
Well, football's changed a lot of ways for coaches and managers. There's much more games now in football. There's more opportunities to watch games live than maybe there was years and years ago. But I have to say, we have another game. We prepare for it. We want to keep our good form going, and we look forward to going to Anfield and seeing how we perform.
For the fans, it's obviously always an occasion. How would you describe the Merseyside derby?
Well, I think any big derbies in any cities, big cities, are always really important. This has always been an incredibly difficult game for me personally, because we've always come up against a really good Liverpool teams, whatever it's been. Teams who've had some great players over the years and made it really hard for us. But we've always been competitive. It will not change. We'll always do everything we can to try and get a victory.
Has it meant more the longer you've been associated with it?
I think that the gap between the two clubs in my first stint is as close as it had ever been. We'd had our times where we finished above them a couple of times, and but I've got to say it's been hard because they've been such a successful football club, winning trophies. We've had to sort of live with that and get on with our own problems, which we've had probably more recently. But I think certainly now we're in a much better place, and we look as if we're heading towards a much better place as well.
And when you look at the challenge that you'll face against them,
Liverpool kings of the late goals this season. That's the difference. It's been outstanding. Everyone's talking about it. The late show, is it luck? Will it run out, or is it something else?
Well, once in a while you get a late goal. But I think in 5-6 games they've got a late goal in every game. And not even late. I mean, I'm talking late. What was the Newcastle one? 90 plus 10 from Ngoma. I mean, that was incredible. The Chiesa one. I mean, they have so many weapons and so many options to change the game from the bench. It is quite remarkable. But Mo Salah, I love that dummy from Szoboszlai. There's the one from Ngoma. What a player he is. I mean, I don't know. It can't be luck, because they just keep pushing down, don't they? And they push right to the end like the great teams do. I mean, this one was sucker punch, wasn't it? 92nd minute, Mo Salah.
Breaking. And it was a combination of Burnley losing their concentration late on, second week in a row they'd done that. They did it against Man City, 97th minute. And obviously Liverpool pressing and pressing. They had 81% possession, 27 shots on goal in that match. They were outstanding. And I think that it's a showcase of Liverpool's attacking power and ability to dominate opposition defences. You did it obviously with Tevez and Rooney and Ronaldo and so many good players who were just able to, through sheer force of will really, to worry teams out of it. It's not luck what they're doing. It can't be. They've got so many attacking weapons to go to war with. Isak's not even fit yet.
Yeah. Imagine adding Isak to that blend.
So who does he start? Who does he choose? How does he fit them all in?
I don't
together?
have a problem with Ekitiko dropping to the bench. He doesn't have to shoehorn every player into that front six. I think we've made mistakes like that with England and other teams where we had lots of good players and thought, oh my goodness, let's put some square pegs into round holes. I think they've got the quality there. I think in the first hour against Atletico, probably too long, maybe the first 45 minutes against Atletico, we saw how well they can gel when they're flowing, and the touch. And
Isak and Verts are great together.
Absolutely. I think you would have to start those two, no?
I think so, but Ekitike has been amazing. And, obviously don't forget Gakpo and Mo Salah. And, you've got all these guys, McAllister, you've got all these amazing players. And I think that's the cool thing about Arne Slot. He doesn't really, it's not an emotional thing. It's like, look, I'll make a change and I'll play something that I think is going to decide the game. And every time, I think he's found a way to get it right. Even Chiesa is another one. So having the scope of those options I think, is a luxury that not many managers have.
Yeah, probably the most feared forward line in world football right now. Well, Ugo Ekitike spoke about the possibility of linking up with Alexander Isak and competing with him for a place in the starting lineup.
I think it's good, I'm a young player. He has more experience than me in the Premier League. He did very good in the Premier League. He showed that he's one of the best strikers in the world. So it's good for me, to be with him, to compete, even play together. Sometimes maybe it's going to be the coach decision, but it's good for me, for the team, that he's here.
Well, it's ominous for Everton. I think especially David Moyes, he's never won at Anfield, and now they're facing Liverpool, talking about an attacking line in that kind of shape. What do you expect from them?
Well, I expect them to come out and be well organised, as they have been since he's gone back to the club. They've been much more respectable, much less shambolic, and they've added goals to that defensive stability as well. The problem, I've been fascinated listening to Moyes today, Friday, when we're recording this. Am I allowed to say that? I've said it now.
We're live. What are you talking about?
Just in case someone's watching it on Saturday. Okay,
Go for
move on.
it. You do what you want. By now, you should. Please.
Moyes has been talking about the fact that he doesn't like playing against Liverpool. He hates the Merseyside derby, and funnily enough, Wayne Rooney in his own podcast said that as well. He hated playing in the Merseyside derby. The reason being that Liverpool have got so many good players. And when you look at the summer, you look at the fact that they spent pushing £500,000 on their squad. They're going to have another outstanding side to put out. Then you look at the record, one win for Everton against Liverpool in the last 29 derbies. It's just ridiculous. And I think as good as Everton are going to be going into this match, Liverpool are just going to be too strong for me, and they will find a way, whether it's a set piece from Van Dijk, whether it's flowing football at Ekitike or Isak or Salah, who we're now not even thinking about as the most potent weapon that Liverpool have. I think Everton will put up a good fight, but I can't see them winning this.
Yeah, if they're going to get something, creativity will obviously come from someone like Jack Grealish, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been the star of the show. And I think Everton have been crying out for somebody to come and be the star. And I think Jack's obviously, he was the star at Aston Villa. Obviously, he was a star among stars at Manchester City and won some big trophies. But 4 assists, that's amazing in 4 Premier League games. And Dyer he's an amazing young player as well. Just think now, Dewsbury Hall, they have some options and some firepower at the top of the pitch. Defensively, they've always been good, Everton, with Pickford in the back 4. But I think offensively now they have a bit of firepower. They add a punch. And obviously with Beto, big physical presence up top. He can pose a threat as well. So Jack would love going in a game like this and trying to be the star of the show. The only problem is they're not going to get much of the ball. So they've got to find a way to get up the pitch. But exciting times for Everton. They have a really good team.
Yeah, you mentioned Dewsbury Hall and Dibbling as well. Just talk to me more about them and what they bring to this Everton squad. Well,
I think they were weak in midfield, I thought. I saw some of the pre-season games, they were missing something in there. I think Dewsbury Hall technically is a very good player, smart player, goes straight into that number 10 position. Dibbling hasn't really played yet because Jack's been on the left and Dyer's been on the right-hand side. But I think he will come into the team. He's young, he's athletic, got an amazing left foot. And I think it's good where these young English players, they should go to a club like Everton, rather than stockpile all this talent and be at all these big clubs. Go play. For a football club like Everton that cherish, these players playing there, and I think they're all going to flourish, especially under a manager like David Moyes, who, gives you a bit of a structure, but then gives them a freedom to go and attack and create something.
Yeah, Darren, we've seen in the last couple of seasons, well, in the history of this game, but we've seen a couple of incidents in the last few seasons. This one gets really spicy, and everyone's expecting Liverpool with their perfect start to get 3 points the easy way.
I think you're right.
What do you say to that?
I think we're judging this purely on football, but obviously sparks do fly in this contest. Emotions run high, largely because everyone knows what it means to the fans. Everyone knows what it means in terms of bragging rights. Wayne Rooney, I mentioned him before, he said that he used to ask for all the TVs to be turned off at the training ground ahead of the game when he was at Everton because he didn't want to be contaminated and caught up in all of the emotion going into the game, but you can't escape it. You know, we saw the climax to the game last season where there was a bust up with the fans and there were players sent off after the final whistle. There were loads of red cards in this fixture as well. You must have played in one or two like them as well, where it just gets all too much.
Yeah, I mean, emotionally, it's the biggest game, a derby, and you just don't want it to boil over and get nasty, because sometimes you're thinking nasty before the game, but you want it to stay.
Does it get like that?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. But you want to keep it professional, and you want to keep it focused on the football, and not get out of hand. You don't want it to be physical and aggressive, because the fans love that. But you don't want it to go over the top, and I think that's the cool thing about it. That's why people love the Premier League, because you get derbies like this that I don't think you get the same in other countries.
Yeah, you say the fans love that, but the fans will be egging them on as well. They'll be pushing it that way as well. That is the Merseyside derby, one of the standout derbies in world football, of course. It's the
weekend. Now, we've heard from a former Everton captain there, guys. But speaking of Liverpool, Martin, I'll come to you. 5 last-minute wins, right? It's been like box office stuff if you're a Liverpool fan. What have you made of that?
Right, I think if you were going to 2 consecutive games or something, you think that might be a bit of a fluke, but when they're doing it consistently. But it's something I think it's inbred in it, really, at Anfield. You know, you absolutely go to the final whistle and you feel as if they can create something. They haven't, by their own really remarkably high standards last season, have not really performed as well, yet they've got the points on the board. But that augurs pretty well, you know, for future months ahead. But it has been terrific. Obviously, Sloboslai's goal against Arsenal was phenomenal. Yeah. That's the to win the game when perhaps they maybe didn't deserve to win the game. And certainly Burnley, the handball. What was the young lad Hannibal thinking of?
For Hannibal, yeah.
But terrific stuff. You know, Dave was talking about Liverpool signing the players. I feel as if Slot has earned the right to sign these players. What he did, he came in last season. He didn't. He just had a look at the squad, took it on. I know everybody's used this word seamless, but that's probably the best way to describe it. Yeah. They're terrific, and he has earned the right there to go and strengthen that side.
Yeah, absolutely. And we caught a glimpse, Jimmy, of Alexander Isak, a little cameo. Obviously, he started the game in midweek, got about 60 minutes in his legs. Yeah. I'm not sure if he's going to start the next game, but do you think Isak can add a new dimension to this squad?
I think Isak will be a success at Liverpool. I think he's such a good player. He's got everything. He scores different kind of goals. His movement is good. His finishing, he's calm in front of the goalkeeper. Yeah, so he gives himself all the time when he gets a chance that extra second, that extra half a second, and that extra half a second is big for a striker when you get an opportunity. And normally he puts that away. He needs to get fit. He needs matches, and he will be a success. He will score goals. He will score goals because Liverpool will play in the final third of the in the defensive third of the opposition majority of the time anyway. Yeah. And then he's closer to the goal, and his movement is good. He will score goals.
How many games do you think it's going to take for him to be able to gel? I mean, as a striker, you know, you go into a new side. How long does that transition take?
He needs to get it going with Wirtz very quickly, with Salah very quickly. Now Salah is a little bit different because when Salah comes in the final third, he normally goes for himself. Not really, he does assist. So he needs to get a connection with Wirtz. Wirtz is a kind of number 10, what we have been speaking about earlier, that likes to give assists. And that will benefit Isak, you know. Yeah. If he can get it going, the two, and if the two behind them, the two defensive midfielders, can protect them, yeah, by when the balls come out, winning the balls and then straight away give it to them, then they have space and then they can do damage.
Absolutely.
Well, just a reminder then of Match Week 5 fixtures. As you can see, it all kicks off with the Merseyside derby at Anfield.
Champions.
You're going to do that every time. 4 games on at 3 o'clock. We've got 2 late games on Saturday and then 3 on Sunday, finishing with Arsenal against Manchester City at the Emirates. But we've got to talk about the Merseyside derby, haven't we, Joe?
Yeah, we have. Champions. Let's talk about it. And
it's so boring.
Why is it boring?
It just is.
Well, I mean, Liverpool's sitting pretty at the moment at the top of the league, but who can forget the corresponding fixture last season? Really exciting. Liverpool closing in on their 20th league title, and this happened in the second half. What a goal it was as well. I remember it very well. Fantastic.
The interception. Diaz's flick. Jota dancing to score in the Merseyside derby. It's a big, big breakthrough for title-hunting Liverpool at the Cop End.
A couple of things about that goal. That was Diogo Jota's last goal for Liverpool. And I think, if my memory serves me correctly, it was the goal that set Liverpool up to be winning the league at Anfield in the next game. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it just makes me sad every time I see him. But it was a lovely goal, and it was a very typical Diogo Jota goal, is what I would say. And he scored in that Merseyside
The entire
derby.
Liverpool squad, he's the only player that typically scores that goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, Liverpool have started the season so brilliantly, and Diogo Jota will have absolutely loved how they have started it. And there's been plenty of late goals, Jay, in every single game so far for Liverpool. So we're going to play a little game with you. It's time to play Guess the Minute that the goals were scored. So let's see how well he knows his Liverpool team.
Oh.
Right, the first one, it's got to be quick-fire, Jay, OK? The first one is the Chiesa goal against Bournemouth. This is it. What minute did it happen in?
86.
No, 89.
88.
It was the 88th minute.
No, he saw that. He saw that.
No, he didn't. No, he said it before it came up, but you got no. The Salah goal versus Bournemouth. What minute?
Salah Bournemouth.
91.
Quickly, Jay.
85.
94th minute.
Wow.
What about Rio Ngamoa, the brilliant winner against Newcastle? What minute?
This is
90
95.
plus 10 or something it was.
So what's that?
100 minutes. 100 minutes.
At the minute.
Yeah.
He's got one right.
Yeah.
What about Dominic Szoboszlai against Arsenal? Brilliant free kick.
This was 85.
83 it was.
He's bang on. It was
83.
the 83rd minute. And finally, we've got this Mohamed Salah penalty against Burnley in the very last minute.
91st?
This is not your game.
95. 95th minute.
It was the 95th
95th minute?
Yeah, do you know Van Dijk in the Champions League?
90 plus 4.
92. 92nd
Oh,
minute.
wow.
Oh, no, you were pretty close, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's late
What is it?
goals.
What is
That's
it? What do you
late
think is
goals.
happening there with the late goals? Is it just like the tenacity? Like,
Yeah.
what's happening there?
I think there's a couple of things. The Burnley one, the second half, Liverpool dominated, and I think the more that you're in the box, you're pressing, and the self-belief, it's going to happen. You know, Liverpool, and I think they're fit, and I think they're mentally fit as well, that they think they can score. Manchester United used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
what
not
I'm thinking.
actually luck.
So it's a Champions thing.
It might be a Champions thing.
This early on is mad.
Champions.
Yes, yeah. It's actually mad, though.
Every game. Every single game.
It's mad. It's mad.
It's only 4 games in. Well, 5.
Yeah. Okay.
And every one.
Yeah,
5.
sick, man. Anyway, I'm buzzing for the Merseyside derby, and so is Ellie Collins. Let's check this out.